Firstly, thank you so much, Mrs. Kumar, for making time for EduTalks. It's a really pleasure to have you on our platform, ma'am.
Thank you, Annapurna. Thank you, awesome. In fact, I must congratulate for the wonderful work that you all are doing for the society. You all are constructively engaging the children for last couple of months. Even in this pandemic, they had this opportunity to participate in various events, starting with, and the most beautiful part of WASM is that, you all have been giving them an opportunity to showcase their talent across various fields. If somebody has a knack for science, then they have participated in Young Scientist Award. Now, of late, you all have come up with singing competition, dance competition, you name it and it is there. So the way very, very beautifully you all have, encapsulated all the areas of multiple intelligence. That is something I must appreciate, and it requires mention at this platform. So I must congratulate all of you, and I express my gratitude also for, bringing me here on the platform of EduTalks.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. So, ma'am, so currently, ma'am, the education system in India is gaining a lot of traction because of the ongoing reforms and the policies that have been brought up by the government. So, ma'am, this does bring a lot of question regarding the existing system and the methods of teaching that has been practiced till now. So, ma'am, we would like to get some insights on that. So, I'm coming to my first question. How do you think that the current education curriculum is relevant in the real world, ma'am?
Had there been a relevance, should there not have been a requirement of NEP after more than 3 decades, right? So you can understand for around 3 decades, we did not actually feel the necessity. We did not wake up to the cause of education. We were following the system which was prevalent, and we never thought of bringing in an innovation. So with the current education policy, the biggest advantage is that, we have actually revamped our entire system. We are likely to do so. And I must inform you and also the viewers that, there are certain things which CBSE has already made us implement. For example, here the special mention has to be done about self and peer assessment. This is a wonderful system wherein a child is not only being assessed by his teacher, but also he is assessing himself, which is nothing but a reflection of you to yourself, right? So this is a beautiful component of national education policy, and at the same time, the child is also being assessed by his peers. So, the assessments are no more going to be fearsome. They are actually going to be very, very interesting, wherein the child gets a wide scope to understand, reflect back his own shortcomings. He gets to know his own strengths also. He gets to learn his strengths from his friends, his peers. So that's a beautiful part of one of the important components of the new national education policy that is there in front of us. So I think this was much required. And the current system was probably not churning the children out to be a global citizen. Probably it was a mix of local and global, meaning a local approach was there. But now there was a need when there is no boundary between two countries, if you look at it that way. So I think with the current NEP, children would get an exposure. They would get a platform to explore themselves in a wider way.
So also, ma'am, how do you think that the Indian education currently is placed compared to the world?
I would say that, the application, it was qualification, but not education to a large extent. The difference between qualification and education is that in former, you acquire a degree, in the latter, you acquire a lot of wisdom. So the current system is, of course, I would say that it has been prevalent and we've all been following it, but it was probably not honing the employability skills. The emphasis was not there on skills, right? So this was working as a barrier for a student who has passed out college or who has acquired and achieved a degree. He was not able to get an employment faster. Of course, that doesn't mean that, with the current NEP, we are going to ensure that, children would get a job very, very fast. But then, of course, it's a step towards the same.
So what changes do you think is required to uplift the education system?
Applicability of what you are learning. Unfortunately, incidentally, the classrooms were secluded from the society. So when we taught sociology to a group of children, we never ensured as teachers that, the knowledge of sociology has to be associated with their surroundings. A sociology project got restricted to a few pages, whereas in practical world, as a teacher, as a school, one can always associate the same with the people around. So a project, when you're teaching them, let's say a class system, so a project on going and serving the LIGs, talking about the MIGs, when they are learning how to prepare questionnaires. So preparing a questionnaire in the current scenario, something related to pandemic, would actually give them a practical insight. So this is very important. This was somewhere lacking in our system. The flexibility was not there, and we were all becoming a part of a rat race. Syllabus completion, monthly syllabus completion, and that is it. We never gauged and analyzed whether a child is actually learning and he is able to correlate the learning from his textbook in the classroom to the social world. You
So,
see?
ma'am, that must have promoted the mugging up thing more rather than
Absolutely,
actually understanding the
absolutely. So,
concept.
it was more of rote method learning, wherein earning marks and scoring marks would somehow reflect the knowledge of the child. But with the current system, since there is so much of flexibility, I'm sure the teachers are going to get a lot of pedagogical independence, and that would also ensure that, we don't make them a part of the mill of the run. They become individual thinkers. So,
Right.
and I would emphasize upon a fact that, CBSE has introduced a beautiful concept in the name of creative and critical thinking, which allows a child not to go back to his textbook, but to understand a text which is presented before him, analyze it in his own way, and then he is being assessed. So it's application of knowledge. And then if you talk about Bloom's taxonomy, then you move to the fifth or the sixth level of Bloom's taxonomy. You don't get stuck to the understanding of concepts or learning of concepts only. You're able to analyze, you're able to apply, you're able to synthesize. And that's the topmost level of Bloom's taxonomy of learning, right?
So, ma'am, like now that you've mentioned Bloom's taxonomy, do you want to give us like a small snippet of what exactly is Bloom's taxonomy?
Okay. Now, see what exactly it talks about is there are different levels mentioned about learning. So it's like, supposing we are having this interaction through a gadget, correct?
Right.
So it goes like this, that I tell you that this is the link and this is how you are supposed to join in. So that's simple understanding, so without applying the knowledge of any kind of gadget, you just move on to that link, you click upon the link and you enter the meeting. Now there are very many things which we can do otherwise. We can have a virtual background. Like right now I have a real background. So you can have a virtual background. You can actually have 3-4 people coming and talking together in the Zoom meeting. So these are all applications of the knowledge. And then from here on, if you're given the independence, if there is enough pedagogical independence provided to the teachers, enough, the clutches of syllabi completion are taken away from students, then they can synthesize, they can come up with something new. And that is how, as a society, you promote inventions and innovations.
Right, ma'am.
Right? So you gradually move on to the topmost level of Bloom's taxonomy, which talks about synthesis and evaluation. You're able to evaluate, I'm able to evaluate whether Zoom is a better platform or should I move on to some other platform. So there lies a comparison, and this comparison is based on my critical and creative thinking.
So
Right?
basically able to applicate it and then
Absolutely.
compare and then use your own judgment.
Exactly.
Right.
And come up with something new. That's
Right.
very important. That's
That's
very, very important. Which I feel that, for years we were not allowing this platform to the children. See, if you go back to the olden, the Vedic periods, we never had any scripted books. There was no concept of book. It was all oral and oral comprehension through which the teacher and taught carried the wisdom, I would say, and
Mm.
knowledge, generation after generation,
Right.
right? So they were more intelligent, though we
Mm.
think we are, maybe we are more tech savvy, but probably when you apply wisdom, they were more intelligent, they were more hands-on with their work than what we are now.
And what are your thoughts on the national education policy? Will it help
I
in uplifting the Indian education system?
I feel that it's a welcome change to the entire nation because, there are few important points in the national education policy. A, it makes a child future ready. I'm summing it up. Though I'm,
Right.
conversant with the entire book, so it would take probably an hour for me to talk about each and every point. So it allows a child to kind of explore,
Mm-hmm.
create his own content. It allows the same platform to a teacher also. You know, when we are bound by syllabi, we are actually not able to think through and think wide, right? So here with the current NEP, the advantages are that the syllabi has been reduced and it has been made more practical oriented learning and teaching.
Mm-hmm.
For example, in middle school, NEP has asked us to allow students to go for a vocational training or a skill-based practical training. So this could include a
Right.
carpentry job, this could include an electrician's job, this could include maybe, a clay sculptor's job, right? So
Mm-hmm.
somehow the children were, kind of safeguarded to an extent and in a way that they were very much detached with their practical lives. See, two things are there. There is a moral lesson to this, that unless one does the job of carpentry at least for 7 to 10 days in his life, one can never appreciate and understand the amount of effort that goes into this profession. This is also a profession. So when children, and especially school children, Annapurna, when they are given such trainings, they would rather understand that even carpentry is also a profession and a carpenter is also a human being. So there is a skill-based training, there is a moral value that is going into the society, and to change the society, you cannot change it with adults. You always have to change the society with school children,
Mm.
right? And then there is a proposal that, the board examination, this entire word, when you quote board examination, the child's life would almost come to a standstill for those board years. If he would be in class 10 or 12, he would just be stuck with board examination. The
Mm.
current system is likely to provide a lot of flexibility in this regard also.
Mm.
So probably
Right.
we would see a stress-free society, a stress-free tomorrow.
Mm.
In order to see a tree growing well, you have to water the roots, not the
Great
leaves.
insight. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for your
very
time.
much.